Welcome to the Tuning In podcast, where we talk alignment, intuition, and our internal guidance system. We cover woo-woo topics in an approachable and practical way. I'm your host, Dana Evans of alignful.com. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Tuning In podcast. So last week, we talked about journaling and the magical practice of morning pages. And this week, I'm going to share a little bit of actually one of my journal entries. I was going to turn it into an official podcast script, but I decided, well, since we were talking about journaling last week, what would it look like to actually just read a bit of my journal? So that is what we're going to talk about on this week's episode, and I'm going to dive right in. So as you know, if you listened to the most recent episode, is I have decided, due to the guidance from my inner voice, to not drink alcohol the month of March. And the first week was really no problem. And then I came into a little struggle this past weekend, and this is what the journal entry is about. I really recently have been filling my weekends with productive tasks, not necessarily work for my business, but really intense work around the house. I have a pretty involved meal planning, grocery shop, and meal prep day that I usually do. This weekend, I did all my taxes on Saturday, my business and personal taxes. And then I came home and planned out all of my whole month, which I talk about in this journal. And then that was really exciting. And then from there, I even planned out house tasks that need to get done. And then I decided to dive right into a house task, which involved taking all of the stuff out of our coat closet in the laundry room, which was stuffed. In fact, if you go to Instagram, I will post a before and after of the coat closet, a before, during, and after. It was stuffed with stuff, and I emptied all of that out. And that took quite a while, and then put everything back, and it looks beautiful. And then I was having trouble unwinding, and that is the point when on a weekend, I would normally, I think it was probably around 4, I would normally make myself a little cocktail or have a beer or have a glass of wine and be like, I kicked ass today and now I'm going to have a drink. It's very much part of my routine. I think I shared last week that my relationship with alcohol is not a negative one. I very much enjoy alcohol. I enjoy making cocktails. I am a certified mixologist from the Harvard School of Bartending. That was a 21st birthday present from my cousins. I have a Cocktailers at Cocktailers Instagram account, also with my co-cocktailers, my 2 cousins. I love making delicious drinks. I am a member of a couple wonderful wine clubs that are organic, biodynamic, ecological wine clubs. Folded Hills is one. Dutch Henry is the other. I like craft beer, and just cocktails to me are an extension of food and coffee. It's just, I really enjoy beautiful experiences. I'm not really one to overconsume. I have maybe 1 drink a night, maybe 2 on the weekends, but it's just not an overindulgence. It's just something that I enjoy, and it brings me joy and delight. So that's why I've never really felt the need to cut it out, but my inner voice guided me, which is why I really found on Saturday, after that experience of a really intense day, I wanted the reward. And look, I don't feel ashamed of this. I think it's okay. Alcohol is part of my life and my experience, and for some people it's not. But for me, it is. And so it was really interesting to be like, oh, this is something that I really enjoy. And then more than that, especially on Saturday, I was having trouble relaxing. So Saturday night I slept. I had also then had some other things came through, like awarenesses and clarity. And I woke up in the middle of the night with some intensity that I'll share in this journal. And then Sunday morning is when I journaled. So it was kind of my morning pages practice, but I just had so much clarity coming through in the morning that I just grabbed my phone and just wrote in my notes app. And so that is what I'm sharing. So without any more further ado, here is my journal from the morning of March 7th. So, anxiety spiked in the night. Oh my gosh, I'm avoiding the feelings. I saw it so clearly in the night. I woke up with general anxiety and a feeling of panic. In that moment, it was so clear that my weekends are a lot of doing to avoid feeling. Saturday was really hard. I wanted alcohol after doing taxes and spending the day cleaning and organizing my closet. Once I stopped doing and working, I was still spinning. I couldn't settle. I couldn't stop. I knew that alcohol would be a reward and also help settle me. I was seeking relief. I was looking in the pantry for food, maybe a book. I was searching for a movie to watch, a task to do, but I was too tired to do anything else. And nothing sounded or felt right. I was stuck. So after going through this for over an hour, I finally decided, okay, let's see an experiment. I'm going to pour myself 2 ounces of beer. A little tiny little shot glass of beer is what I poured myself. And I sipped it and enjoyed it, and I felt my system calm down. Oh my gosh, that was really simple. It's not ideal because I chose to give up alcohol this month, but it's really important for me to see and understand through this experience. I know that I can do this on my own. I know I can give myself that sense of calm. And now I remember what it feels like. I don't want to busy myself through my days right now. This whole month is supposed to be about slowing down, tuning in, and being more present with myself. If I do my way through my days, it comes back to bite me. Right now, I'm aware that my doing is a way for me to avoid disappointment, worry, and stress that come up during the day. But when I avoid it during the day, I end up feeling it at night. Either when I'm trying to wind down and not having wine, or in the middle of the night when all of my guard is down. When I woke up with this feeling last night, I had a deep desire to escape it. I was so uncomfortable. And then I remembered my practices. Oh, my practices. Oh, emotional release. The things that I'm constantly guiding clients through when they're in inner voice sessions or having a panic of their own. I have the tools. All I have to do is use them on myself. So what did I do? I breathed right into the space, right into the tension and uneasiness, right into what my mind wanted to run from. It was under my chin and deep in my chest. I dove into the feeling. I said hello to it. I breathed the feeling in. I invited it to come up. I asked what it needed. I apologized for running away. I thanked it. I sat with it. It's mine after all. I've been running from a part of me. Avoiding parts of myself in favor of the more fun and easy parts. That's not fair. So I spoke to this feeling, the one I've been avoiding for so long. I became it. And through this, it started to soften, to lose its grip. For I shined the light on the darkness. I looked under the bed. Turns out, it wasn't as scary as the mind thought. I can see so clearly now how I'm filling my days and weekends with doing. The tasks are awesome. I accomplish a lot. I'm impressed with myself, sure, but it doesn't complete me. It's actually a distraction from myself. While doing, I'm avoiding, and I'm also consuming. Books, podcasts, TV shows, a drink, phone calls. It's a constant influx of information. It's too much. This is what I was called to do in March, to release all of that so I could come back to the clarity of me. I wake up and I send and listen to voice memos, then I read business books, then I have phone calls, I listen to podcasts, I check Instagram, I check my email. I watch trainings, I watch TV, I read again, I check Instagram, I check email. Then I put in headphones and listen to a guided meditation to go to bed. I always have something in my ear, something in my head, something that's not me. I'm constantly taking in information, even while doing my practices. I need more space. I can do the things, but in between, before and after, I need space to let my nervous system calm down, to recalibrate, to hear from myself, to come back to myself. I'm currently listening to Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Light. And just as I was doing all the things on my epic day on Saturday, to avoid feeling, mind you, I heard him say, we all need to take a walkabout sometimes. A walkabout is a way for us to tune out the noise so that we can hear from within again. We need ways to do this regularly in our lives. Upon contemplating this, I made a list of what my walkabouts are, how I can tune back into self. And here's what it is. Lie down in bed in the middle of the day and pause. Listen, breathe, and rest. Journaling. From the mind, sure, but also by asking my inner voice. Taking a bath with nothing but candles. Solo walks. No podcast, just engage with nature and breathe. See what's around me. Sitting with my discomfort, but not trying to get out of it, actually getting into it. End the night with my tingles meditation. You'll have an opportunity to download this on your own if you click on the show notes. Let my thoughts unravel, come to my breath, and feel into my body. Come back. Allow myself to rest. Silent meditations. I love the guided ones, but I found I haven't done a silent one in a while. And for me, it's a very different experience. Yoga, specifically bowstring. It's such a deep, intense, and mindful practice. My mind is so present when I do it that it can't think of anything else. I have so many practices that I love, and any of them can be a present, mindful practice that bring me back to self. For example, dry brushing, body oil massage, face masks, heck, the simple practice of taking a shower, cooking, eating, even cleaning. However, I do find that my tendency is to do some of these practices manically. I get a bit obsessive about them. So in addition to incorporating more release, more slowing down and going inward practices as I listed above, I also invite myself to just be more mindful in my daily practices. We can all be more present more often. We can all feel instead of avoid. We can stop running away from parts of ourselves and start integrating them all. Experience the feelings instead of avoiding them. Let me tell you, after my midnight experience of the anxiety in my chest and chin, of releasing and embracing it, I slept deep. I woke up feeling deeply connected, deeply satisfied, with so much clarity and integration of what I have and haven't been doing. Wow. So that, everybody, was my journal. I just read you my journal. Welcome in. And I trust that that resonated in whatever way it needed to for you. And I also just would love to hear from you is, what are your walkabout practices? right? What are the things that you can do that bring you back to self versus distracting you from self versus pulling you away from who you are? I love learning. I love podcasts. I love books. I love consuming information. But there's a point where consumption takes me away from self. And at the end of the day, there is no better information out there than the information that is within. And if we lose connection to that channel, right, your inner voice, your inner guidance system, your intuition, when we lose that connection to our inner knowledge, our inner wisdom, that's when we lose ourselves. That's when we separate from who we are. When we busy and distract ourselves all day long, we lose ourselves. We avoid the parts of ourselves that need to be heard, that need to speak, that need to be seen, to be released, to be cleared, to be transmuted back into self. It's always about coming back, about reintegrating, about becoming whole once again. And you have all the tools within you to do that. And if you ever have any questions or doubts, I invite you to join me in an inner voice session. In those sessions, we bring you back to self. We bring the pieces back together and give you the keys to access that whenever you need or desire, for it's always within you. All we do in the sessions is bring you back. We turn that volume way up of your inner voice, your inner guidance, your intuition. We tap into your higher self and let her speak through you so that you can remember that she is you. So if you'd like to book one of those sessions, send me an email to dana@alignful.com or send me a DM on Instagram or go to alignful.com and click on work with me. This is within all of us, and I'm so excited to connect and share with you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for letting me speak from a truly authentic and organic place by sharing and opening the books of my journal directly to you. And as always, if this resonates, you would like to share it with someone you know, please do. And comment or leave us a review on iTunes. Thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. I will see you next week. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Tuning In podcast. As always, if this would resonate with anyone you know, please share the episode. You can follow along with my journey on Instagram at Dana_Evans or find me on my website at alignful.com.